In 1886, when Florida was still a frontier and luxury meant a sturdy roof, a hat maker dared to dream in Tiffany glass and parquet floors. Indeed, the Stetson Mansion rose like a fever dream amid orange groves and pineapple fields. 10,000 panes of artisan glass catching sunlight, 16 patterns of exotic wood flowing beneath feet, and modern marvels like electricity humming through walls when most Americans still lived by candlelight. But the true miracle isn't just that this Victorian masterpiece survived. It's how this temple of innovation and luxury would transform into America's most beloved Christmas palace. In today's episode of Old Money Mansions, we'll share the story of an American dream that refused to fade, where every December, history and holiday magic dance beneath gaslit chandeliers as we take you inside America's most opulent Christmas mansion. Picture, if you will, Florida's very first luxury estate, where 10,000 panes of antique glass, many crafted to Tiffany's exquisite designs, transformed the brilliant Florida sunlight into a symphony of color. Below these spectacular windows, 16 different patterns of mosaic parquet flooring flowed through the rooms, each design a masterpiece of craftsmanship that would stop visitors in their tracks. And this wasn't just another wealthy northerner's winter retreat. This was the Stetson Mansion, where modern marvels that most Americans couldn't even dream of were simply part of daily life. Thanks to Stetson's friendship with Thomas Edison himself, electric lights illuminated these halls when most of the country still relied on gas lamps. The mansion was among the first homes in the world to boast steam heat, which worked alongside 6 grand fireplaces to keep the residents comfortable during the winter season. An electric call bell system connected every space, while 3 full bathrooms, unheard of in that era, offered conveniences that wouldn't become common for decades to come. Inside this architectural masterpiece, renowned Philadelphia architect George T. Pearson had created something Florida had never seen before. Gothic grandeur merged seamlessly with Moorish mystery, while Tudor majesty found an unlikely but magnificent partner in Polynesian grace. The mansion became a crown jewel of high society during the winter months from October to April, when America's elite gathered for magnificent social occasions. Such was its importance that Henry Flagler himself, the railroad baron who was literally reshaping Florida, built a private railway spur to deliver the finest materials during construction. The mansion's surrounding 300 acres encompassed not just orange groves, but also flourishing pineapple fields, creating a private paradise that stretched as far as the eye could see. From this magnificent base, Stetson didn't just build a home, he transformed a region. His patronage elevated DeLand College to university status, while his presence drew other wealthy northerners to what had once been called Persimmon Hollow. Indeed, this was something similar to the heart of an empire, a symbol of what American ingenuity and vision could achieve in the Florida frontier. Thus, when construction finished in 1886, the Stetson Mansion stood as Florida's grandest private residence, setting a new standard for luxury in the American South. Little did anyone know that this magnificent estate was about to embark on a journey as remarkable as its creation, a story of survival that would see it emerge as one of America's most celebrated historical treasures. Born in Orange, New Jersey in 1830, John B. Stetson would grow up to revolutionize both the American hat industry and Florida's architectural landscape. His journey began in his father's hat factory, where the rhythms of steam presses and the scent of felt would shape his early years. But it was a devastating tuberculosis diagnosis that would change the course of his life. The illness sent Stetson westward to Colorado's frontier, where the rugged landscape would inspire his most famous creation. There, amid the punishing winds and relentless sun, he watched cowboys struggle with hats that crumbled under the brutal demands of frontier life. Their frustrations sparked an idea that would revolutionize the American West, the boss of the plains hat. Indeed, this headwear came to be seen as a masterpiece of durability and style that would become as iconic as the cowboys who wore it. By the time the century's end approached, Stetson's enterprise had grown into one of the world's largest hat manufacturers. His success in the hat industry allowed him to pursue ambitious philanthropic endeavors, supporting educational institutions and community projects across America. Each success only fueled his desire to give back, to build something lasting beyond the empire of hats that bore his name. Yet even as his influence grew, Stetson's most spectacular creation still awaited. His friend Henry DeLand would introduce him to a slice of paradise called Persimmon Hollow, known today as DeLand, Florida. Captivated by the area's beauty and potential, Stetson purchased 300 acres of orange groves and pineapple fields. In 1886, construction began on what would become Florida's first luxury estate. As the walls rose and the innovative features were installed, it became clear that this would be a masterpiece that could transform a frontier town into a flourishing city. In 1906, tragedy struck the heart of DeLand when John B. Stetson suffered a fatal stroke within the walls of his beloved winter retreat. At his passing, the Stetson Mansion stood as Florida's crowning achievement in luxury living, setting standards that most Americans wouldn't experience for decades to come. The mansion remained in the Stetson family's hands for the next 2 decades, maintaining its status as a private residence. In 1925, ownership transferred to the DeLand Holding Company, marking the beginning of a new era for the estate. But their tenure would face immediate challenges. The devastating hurricane of 1927 battered the region, and when the Great Depression crashed into America in 1929, it brought additional hardships. In the decades that followed, the mansion maintained its role as a private residence while adapting to changing times. The estate's schoolhouse found new life as a venue for piano lessons, while the main house saw various uses that reflected the evolving needs of its owners and the surrounding community. Through all these changes, the architectural significance of the Stetson Mansion endured. The mansion's innovative features remained symbols of John B. Stetson's vision of luxury and innovation in the American South. On the 21st of November 1978, this architectural legacy received formal recognition when the National Register of Historic Places added the Stetson Mansion to its prestigious list. This designation acknowledged what many had long understood, that this was one of Florida's finest examples of Victorian-era architecture. As the mansion approached its centennial, this recognition would help ensure its preservation for future generations, setting the stage for yet another chapter in its remarkable story. In 2005, the Stetson Mansion entered a new era when Michael Solari and J.T. Thompson purchased the historic estate. Their vision for restoration would prove as innovative as the mansion's original creation, but with a distinctly modern approach to preservation. What made their restoration strategy unique was their decision to forego government grants or taxpayer assistance. Instead, they created something revolutionary, a collaborative restoration effort that would bring together craftsmen, artists, and businesses from both near and far. Their doors opened to restoration partners who would help breathe new life into the historic structure while showcasing their own talents. The restoration team worked meticulously to preserve the mansion's extraordinary features. The 16 distinct patterns of parquet flooring were carefully restored. The 10,000 panes of antique glass, including stained and leaded glass windows, once again filtered sunlight through the grand rooms. The unique architectural elements, that distinctive blend of Gothic, Moorish, Tudor, and Polynesian styles, were preserved and enhanced. Yet this wasn't just about maintaining the past. Modern amenities were seamlessly integrated into the historic structure, bringing the mansion into the 21st century while respecting its Victorian-era charm. The restoration partners worked to ensure that every update honored the innovative spirit that had made the Stetson Mansion Florida's first luxury estate. This revival wasn't just about restoring a building, it was about reclaiming a piece of Florida's history. Under this new stewardship, the mansion that had survived decades of change would find yet another remarkable purpose, one that would transform it into one of America's most beloved historic homes. Today, the Stetson Mansion has found a new kind of fame as America's most spectacular Christmas showcase, hosting holiday tours from November 1st through January 18th each year. In a 3-month labor of love, owner J.T. Thompson transforms 10 magnificent rooms into themed wonderlands that change completely each season. Throughout the mansion, visitors discover nativity scenes from around the globe and more than 30 Christmas trees, each decorated with extraordinary attention to detail. The creativity behind these displays goes far beyond typical holiday fare. Thompson draws inspiration from his own childhood memories and feedback from enchanted visitors. In one particularly magical touch, he's transformed rooms into life-sized snow globes, inspired by a cherished gift from his youth. These spectacular holiday transformations have earned significant recognition. In 2023, USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice Travel Awards named it the #2 Best Holiday Historic Home Tour in America. Both Fodor's Travel Guide and Bob Vila have featured it in their top 10 lists of southern holiday homes. All visits require advance reservations, whether guests choose guided tours or self-guided explorations through the ground floor and 3 bedrooms upstairs. Photography is not permitted inside during tours, preserving the intimate experience for each visitor. The tour concludes at the original schoolhouse, now reimagined as a serene guest cottage and gift shop, where a soaring 15-foot Polynesian ceiling adds an unexpected touch of exotic grandeur to the holiday experience. Each room tells its own story through meticulously crafted themed displays that change annually, weaving the property's remarkable history into the festive decorations. Here in sunny Florida, Victorian elegance meets holiday splendor in ways that continue to enchant visitors from across the globe. John B. Stetson's magnificent winter retreat has evolved into something remarkable, a celebration where history, luxury, and holiday magic create an unforgettable experience. And now, we'd like to see you in the comments. Are you a native of Florida, and have you visited the Stetson Mansion? We love to hear your personal stories, so let us know below. And with that said, thanks for your continued viewership. Cheers, until next time.